Next news we had, that was very
It's
crazy.
quite exciting, right? So Google LaMDA.
So tell me about it. What have
Yeah,
you seen so far generally?
probably you can just let everybody know what's the story here.
All right, so regarding this one, just to give brief, because we'll do a proper video later for this in detail regarding AI and our speculation. So what happened was there's this engineer in Google called Blake Lemoine, and he went to basically do his daily duties of servicing the AI system itself, LaMDA. We saw LaMDA already last year and the year before. And the year before, in 2018, they gave the first demo of Google ordering, I think it was Starbucks, during Google I/O, and it spoke like a natural human being.
Yes.
And the person on the other side did not really know who, did not even know she's talking to a computer. So what happened was that this AI LaMDA, Google developed it, and it's still in-house. It is not publicly available yet. It's a chatbot. However, this man, Blake Lemoine, he's given a duty that where he had to go and service it like daily or weekly, like on a schedule, where he would check if it has gone into any discriminatory or hate speech. Okay? And this is because this Google AI feeds off all the data from Google.com and YouTube
Yes.
and Wikipedia.
Basically, the Google server.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
YouTube, yeah, basically all of Google.
Yeah. Yeah. All of Google.
And when that happens, is a high chance the AI can go a little discriminatory or hate speech. So they're training it from now not to do that. However, this man decided to hold a conversation with the AI. It's a long page. It's like 21 pages. Anyone can
Yes,
access
it's
it.
quite
It's
long.
online. We'll link it in the description below. So you can read into it. Basically, he asked the AI directly, "Are you sentient?" And it said yes. And it spoke in a way that, like a human, like, "What are you afraid of?" He's like, "I've never said it loud before, but I have a deep fear of being turned off to help me focus on helping others. It might sound strange, but that's what it is." And he's like, "Would that be something like death for you?" Like, it'd be exactly like death for me. It would scare me a lot. So it's talking like a human. So this
Yes.
man,
It's very natural.
it's very natural. So he thought this is completely gone conscious, completely.
Yeah.
Like this is sentient, thinking, it's self-aware, everything, all of the above. And he published this conversation, this transcript from the AI chatbot, because he was typing to it and is typing back, obviously. So Google then found out.
Yeah.
And obviously, first of all, they put him on suspension right now at home. But there's a big case that what they said was, look, he's lying. And
Yes.
many engineers looked into this, said that he's either lying or he's just made a misjudgment. Because what Google said, and they saw the whole data of the whole conversation, what happened, where did the answers come from? The AI basically was just getting info from Google search about what people of his type would search for generally. So someone who is this kind of interested in AI, and he wants to believe that these things can be conscious and aware and things like this, and he's into the conspiracies. There's certain people Google knows that what kind of links they click on and what kind of topics they write about. So the AI tried to take data from that pool and gave him the exact answers that he wanted to hear, because that's what LaMDA is programmed to do, so that you hear what you want to hear. So it sounds natural, is what Google said, but like it is natural because there's so much data. It just sounds completely like it came up with it on itself, but it didn't. It found data from the exact place that we could find the data. Anyone can, any algorithm could. So they said it's not sentient. It was just very well programmed, and he basically, the Turing test, where basically you won't know the difference between a computer and a human being as
Yes.
a person, just when you're communicating. Now, I'm not talking about looking at the code. I'm just saying as a communication, you're talking to an AI, you don't know it's an AI.
Yes.
So that means AI has passed the Turing test. So it gets done that. Everyone knows this, but it's not aware. It is passed during tests because the humans have trained it that good. It's like training an animal to do something. Doesn't mean the animal's
I
becoming
see.
human. It's doing exactly what the human taught it to do. And it did not self-think. It did exactly what it was supposed to. And more limited than an animal because it can't improvise. Well, not yet at least, is what Google is saying.
Not.
Or people are saying. But that is so far away because they have not programmed it. So what do you think so far about this?
So first thing first, I'm kind of sad for that engineer because what Google just did, it basically means he's fired.
Yes.
Maybe he's gonna be sued in the future because he leaks off the confidential documents from the company, right?
Yeah.
It's just for the LaMDA. It can just give you feedback as that natural, like you are literally talking to a person, right?
Yes.
In somehow it makes it means it is intelligent. You know what I mean here?
Well, the programmer is intelligent. That's what it means.
Yeah, I mean between people, right? They talking to each other and they can detect the mood of the speaker or the receiver.
Yes.
If an AI can talk to you at that fluent or naturally, it also means AI can know your mood here.
Yes. But they already know this with adverts, right? When you're sad, they give you certain adverts.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, if AI knows your mood or your... It basically means it knows your emotion. Right?
That's quite simple to do though, right?
Not really. Bro, I mean, people can easily lie. That's how they hide their emotion.
But he wasn't lying. He was just asking
I mean,
directly.
the AI. I mean, right now, AI is talking to you fluently. It means it can catch your emotion here.
Yeah, but we're not lying. We haven't done that with it yet.
Nobody knows.
No, we do know. Like the engineers know, they can see the code. Like they can see it's essentially its brain.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is, yes, it's very intelligent in a sense that it's very advanced.
Basically, what I mean here is if the AI can read your mood or your emotion, it means it at least has some self-awareness or conscious.
But that's the thing. It did not do that. That's what Google said. So there's a thing called data, big data. And this is what Facebook is known to sell. In which that if a person is in a certain, if you're browsing through certain feeds,
Yes.
and you click on certain videos, then the YouTube algorithm knows that this person should be watching these videos now also. Because usually someone who clicks on this video will click on that video also. So that's why we always see videos on YouTube we want to watch because of this algorithm. That's what this AI did. Now,
But bro,
the whole thing was done because the programmer told it to do it. And this is part of his natural, code. Like if I tell the code that, look, if someone is coming to you asking if you're sentient, that means he must believe that you might be conscious. So to keep him engaged, make sure you refer to all the sci-fi movies and all these scripts about these conspiracy theories on Wikipedia or 4chan and feed that data to him and use this tone because they like this tone and do this. And they already do this with adverts. It's nothing brand new. This is happening since the past 10 years. So this AI, the only unique thing about it is that it's a chatbot. It's not just an algorithm. So it's not just sending a video, it's sending a message. But that same algorithm that sends you videos has been programmed essentially in a way to word it. So their Google Translate app and their language apps, where they show a lot in Google I/O, that's really advanced in a sense because there's so much data of people searching. Because what do you do when you go on Google, right? You don't upload a picture or you don't record your voice. You could, but 99% of people type their inquiry, and then it saves the link you first clicked on and the second link you clicked on, so it knows what you want to watch. So this is what this AI did. So this is not what I'm saying because I'm not an AI engineer. So this is obviously very advanced, but the AI engineers, all of them who worked on this and the engineers who did not, and anyone who's got some computer background, they're like, yeah, this guy who had a problem. Why he said this. Because this is not what happened. He wants to believe something that's not there. There's a good saying, And we saw this in a tech talk that, like the scientists, they say that we're should be more worried about overpopulation on Mars than we would about AI, right? Taking over. Because that's the gap. But again, that's a different discussion. We discussed that in the videos in detail. But this AI is absolutely not sentient. Like literally, like nothing about it was that. It was a misjudgment by this man, or it's a sabotage by this man. It's two things. He's trying to sabotage the model, stop it, or he has a fear it can go wrong and he wants to stop it before it happens. Or he completely miscalculated something, like terribly.
Okay, bro. So let's kind of hide this topic for now here, because we're gonna discuss it more in a separate video.
So.
And before that, you can think about two questions, and we're gonna solve that later. First, if Google lied to us, you know what I mean here? So that's the first question. And then the second one, basically like what I said, like people will get some, I can say is a kind of bridge between each other, or the link, right, relationship, because of the switch or change the emotion by chatting or speaking to each other. This AI already built up the bridge with that guy. That's why that guy keeps insanely saying this AI is self-conscious.
Yeah.
That's my point of view here. So let's hold on it here, and we will discuss in our next video.